Hello there, welcome to BERWICK Mitsubishi. My name is Bailey, and today I'm going to be doing a walk-around video of the all-new 2024 Triton GLS. But before I do a walk-around of this vehicle, I want to mention just a few things. And one of them is over here. This is what we call our Diamond Advantage. Included in our Diamond Advantage is three things. The first being 10 years warranty, or 200,000 kilometers, 10 years cap price servicing, or 150,000 kilometers, and also 4 years of roadside assistance. This is just one of the many benefits that you get of purchasing a Mitsubishi here in Australia. Now, if you follow me, the first thing I'm going to talk about with this car is what's under the bonnet. Under the bonnet, we have a 2.4 litre bi-turbo diesel making 150 kilowatts and 470 newton meters of torque. That is a very good engine for a work ute, for a play around ute, or just something that you want to take your kids in off-roading one day. Now, a few things that a lot of people look for in cars is style and safety. With the new GLS Triton, it features all of those things. With this chrome and black combination, as well as this integrated Mitsubishi logo on the front, you know you're driving one of the most awesome cars here in Australia. So, the next thing is safety. Down here, you have 4 sensors in the front. These sensors help you when parking. If you ever aren't paying attention to the road and somebody slams on their brakes in front of you, the car's going to try and brake for you automatically, but I'll get into that a bit later. Now, if you follow me over here, a few things that I'll touch on, which I'll touch on later as well, is your automatic headlights and automatic high beams, as well as automatic rain sensing wipers. Now, if you get a zoom in on these amazing 18-inch alloy wheels that come with all-terrain tires, this is perfectly fitted for your off-roading or your muddy work sites during the nice Melbourne winters. And if you ever just need a bit of extra movement, these help provide that. Now, if we follow me over here, a few things that you get with the GLS is nice chrome benefits included in your door handles and your mirrors, as well as an integrated indicator. Now, if I can get a close-up of the side mirror here, you'll be able to see just there the blind spot warning, which I'll also touch on in a little bit. Now, coming into the passenger side, a few things that you get is this nice carbon addition, just to give it a little bit more style, and also a side step to make it very easy to get into your new Triton. Now, while we're sitting in the passenger side, this is fitted with our rubber mats, but you can also get a carpet edition. But if you're going off-roading or a tradie working on a site, this is the way to go to keep all that mud and dirt off it. A few things in here is your 2 storage compartments, one up the top and one down below. Nice and easy for storing all your things, all the necessities. Now, I will touch on a bit more in the interior, just a little bit later on. Coming over here into the passenger side, apologies, I just locked that. You'll be able to see that there's quite a lot of room for your passengers and a nice handle to hold on to get in and out. And in addition, you have quite a few pockets to hold your devices, iPads, anything that you need, just as a nice little added storage. And also on the inside, get nice cup holders just in here. If the cameraman could show that. Nice and simple. Wonderful. Now, in the back as well, I'm not sure if you can see, but there are 2 USB points and a volt charger as well. As we go further around the car, you see this huge fuel cap. This is where you put your diesel fuel in and also your AdBlue during your servicing, which they will all do for you. But if you would like more information on that, come on down to BERWICK Mitsubishi and we'd be happy to explain it a bit further in depth for you. Now, walking over here again, you see your 18-inch alloy wheels with your all-terrain tires. Now, coming around the back here, you'll notice that the tail lights actually go all the way around the side of the car. This is to give you a lot more visibility with integrated indicators and brake lights. With the GLS, back to the safety features that I had mentioned earlier, you see these 4 sensors on the back here. This helps you when reversing, when parking, as well as your rear camera. You have side cameras on your mirrors, which I'll show when we get around to the driver's door, and also your front camera, which I'll demonstrate while we're inside the car. Now, you also get the step here. So if you ever needed to get something, you can take a nice step up here and it's all nice and sturdy. And in order to open this, just folds right down for you with ease of access. And they've actually lowered this just a little bit, so it's easier to get all your stuff in and out. And locks nice and easy. We do also have accessories such as a soft tonneau coffer, a hard top, and a bunch of other range of accessories that you can see listed on our website. Now, following me just around to this side of the car, you see the 3 out of the 4 alloy wheels, 18-inch with your all-terrain tires, and getting into the driver's side passenger, as well as a little more covers, not as many as what the passenger side has. Now that we're in the driver's side, this is where all the fun begins. The first main feature that I'll talk about is your touch open and close. As you can see, when I touch this little black button here, the mirrors will fold in, indicating that the car is now locked. And if I were to press that button again, you'll see the use of the integrated indicators and your 360 camera just along the bottom here. Now, if I were to open up this door and jump inside, if you want to follow me along, I'll be able to show you a few of the features inside. Now that we're inside the brand new 2024 Triton GLS, we're going to go through all of the features within the vehicle. Starting over on the driver's side door, you have your power window controls, with the driver's side being automatic for both up and down. Further up, you have your side mirror controls, which you can adjust just by this dial up here. And also your central locking buttons to lock and unlock the car from within inside. Just underneath here, you have a few buttons, if you can see them. This button on the very bottom being your lane departure warning. This helps you keep you within your lane, and if you do start to veer off, the car will actually nudge you back in and prevent you from leaving the lane without indicating. The auto stop and go button is a feature that is automatically turned on within the car. This button is to turn it off. What auto stop and go does is every time you come to a complete stop, the car will actually turn the ignition off, and this way you save fuel and also emissions. Now, moving further up, we come to our indicators and lights on the right side and our wipers on the left. If I flick this down one, you'll see on the dash that it comes up with automatic, showing that your wipers are now turned on automatic, and if I flick this down as well, your headlights are now on automatic. Sorry about that, the car turned off. So we're going to flick that start and stop button once to turn it into accessories mode, and if I did need to start the car, I would put my foot on the brake and press that button as well. So coming back over here, on the very end of your indicator and lights switch, you have a button, and that's to turn on your automatic high beam. So if your high beams were on and a car was coming and you forget to turn them off, that will detect that another car's coming and actually turn the lights off. And once they pass, it'll turn them back on again for you. Now, up here, you may notice this little black box. This is a feature that we call the driver monitoring system. If I go into this shortcut menu and scroll all the way down, you see driver attention alert and driver monitoring system. If I were to block this up, for example, it's going to tell me that it's not available, but when the car's on, it's going to say that I need to be paying attention to the road. And if the car detects that I'm feeling fatigued because it watches my eyes, it's actually going to heighten all the safety features just to make them respond a lot quicker, just for that additional safety. Now, over here in the steering wheel controls, you have your adaptive cruise control, which will slow you down depending on the car in front of you. So if you were going 100 and the car in front was going 95, this is actually going to slow you down to 95, making you avoid having to use the brakes. In order to set that, you press this button down, and that's how you set your cruise control, your adaptive cruise control. And the button just underneath that sets the distance between the car in front of you, starting from 3 car lengths. The buttons just next to that is a pick up and hang up button for when your phone is connected, and to also speak to the car's inbuilt voice recognition system, or Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Jumping onto this side of the steering wheel, You have these three buttons as I demonstrated earlier. If you press this, it comes up with a shortcut menu listing all of our driver assistance features, including your emergency braking, your blind spot warnings, which as shown earlier on the side of the mirrors, your lane departure prevention and departure warning, and also your emergency lane assist. Now, going to these buttons here, this is to control the volume for the screen in the middle and to also change your station or your song depending on what's connected. Speaking of this screen, we'll jump over to here. So as you can see, we're in the main menu right now. If Apple CarPlay was to be connected, it would be just this button here and would say Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Your Apple CarPlay is wireless and your Android Auto is wired. If I press on audio, this brings us to our radio stations and Bluetooth audio. So AM, FM, DAB, and Bluetooth audio, as well as a USB connection. Map, you do have integrated maps. As you can see, we're here located just on KANGAN Drive. And if we press on camera here, it's going to show us our front camera and our 360 camera. If I press this button again, it's going to show us our side camera. And one more press is going to bring us to our full front camera. If you did need to access the rear camera for whatever reason, you just put the car into reverse using the transmission. Now, jumping down just a little bit further, we have our front and rear demisters. And as you can see, our climate control is already on. However, you'll notice that there's two options here. This is because we have something called a dual climate control. If I was to change the one on the right, this is our master control, meaning whatever temperature this one has, this one will also have. But if I change this one down to the lowest possible setting, which is low, you can notice that the passenger is now going to be getting cold air and I'm going to be getting air of 25.5 degrees. You can also sync this to make sure they match up and change the mode of where the air is coming through. The buttons just next to that is your fan speed, which you can change just by pressing them down. The benefit of having these buttons is if you're a tradie at work and wearing gloves on those cold days, sometimes it's a bit difficult to press digital buttons. So we have the added benefit of having buttons that you can actually flick. And over here you have your button to recycle the air and your automatic, which will change it. Now, jumping down a bit further, we had already mentioned the start-stop feature of a start button. And also over here is your rear differential lock, which if pressed, it will come up on the dash as well. Over here, you do have your two charging ports, as well as the more we move down, we see our transmission just here. It is your typical automatic transmission where in park, and if you press this button and drag it all the way down, it'll go to drive, neutral, and reverse, depending on what mode you need to be in. Now, this button here, or this little select system here, is what we call our Easy Super Select. The benefit of this is you can change your drive mode while driving instead of having to come to a stop and change it. You have 2H, 4H, 4 high lock center diff, and 4 low lock center diff. Each one of these have different drive modes as well. 2H having normal and eco, 4H having normal, gravel and snow, 4 high lock having normal, mud and sand, and 4 low lock having normal and rock. This way you get the range of all your off-roading benefits just by a flick of a dial. And also here you do have your manual handbrake instead of having an electronic handbrake. As mentioned earlier with our climate control, we do have fans just located on the roof here and also on these little features at the back here being fans as well for the passengers or for the rear passengers. And just under here, you do have a very deep storage compartment just for any valuables that you might want to keep. And that's pretty much all the features within the car. Now that I've finished walking you around the 2024 Mitsubishi Triton GLS, I'm going to go through just a few more things. First of that being the color that's available is white, white diamond, red, Impulse Blue, Blade Silver, Graphite Grey and Black Mica. This has a variety of colours that might suit everybody's needs. As well as the GLS Triton having the cloth interior and manual seat controls, it comes with a deluxe option for an additional cost, which includes leather seats, heated seats, which is a nice benefit, and also electronic seat controls. Now that that's everything to do with the car, I'm going to mention just a few more things in terms of our internal finance that we have. We have a variety of lenders, the number being 7, which is all run through our business managers, Kevin and Julie. And thank you so much for walking around the 2024 Triton with me, and I hope you have a great day.